something. I have a little something. Maybe this will be up and down as opposed to left and right. We'll see.
All right.
Hey, I'm that bastard OB here with my Goose Chill co-host Ed. We are drinking from the garden hose, your favorite podcast about nothing. Get us wherever you get your podcasts. Please like us and leave a review to help promote the show. You can also come join the conversation with us at gardenhose.versell.app. Ed, how are you?
Obi, I'm doing well today.
Well, and why are we so joyous?
I don't know. I made it through another day. You know what? You get to a certain age, Obi, you're just getting out of bed in the morning's a victory. You know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately, I do. Unfortunately, I do know what you mean, that getting out of bed can be a victory to itself. And why is that your big victory for the day, Ed?
Oh, it's just my big victory every day, just getting out of bed. I mean, the fact that sometimes I can get out of bed and less things hurt, it's a beautiful thing. So that's all. Just making small talk. But Obi, I want to jump right into it because this past weekend I went away, went up to Saratoga, New York to bet on the ponies.
Okay.
But that's not what I necessarily want to talk about. What I want to talk about is on the ride there and on the ride home, we passed a jail. It's called the Fishkill Correctional Facility.
Yes.
It's on Route 84 in Fishkill, New York, for those of you who want to play along at home. And I was remarking to my wife about the jail. I pointed to the jail. I go, oh, there's the jail I went to a Scared Straight program in 8th grade for. And she goes, what? And so I told her the story of when I was in 8th grade, how my whole youth and government class went into the jail, sat in a room full of murderers, and they proceeded to scream at us the whole time we were there. And it just got me thinking, like, Obi, first of all, did you ever do that? But second of all, that was like 40 years ago. Like, stuff like that can you imagine parents going, yep, sign my kid up for the murderers today? That wouldn't happen. I don't think it would happen.
I don't know. I think Scared Straight still happens. I'm not gonna
Do
lie.
you?
I
Do you know,
think Scared
do you know
Straight,
anybody that's ever done a Scared Straight program before?
other than you, I don't know a single person who's ever opted to having gone to a Scared Straight program. Maybe there was something about you in 8th grade that meant you needed to be scared straight at.
So, I've been thinking about that, Obi. This whole thing, as I was telling my wife this story last night, got me thinking. I'm going to get to my conspiracy theory in a second on this. So remind me to get back there. But let me I want everyone to understand what this Scared Straight program was. There was our class, probably 30 kids, probably two sections of our class, right, of 8th grade. So probably 30 kids, not the whole 8th grade, right? Just this youth and government class. And they put us in a room, and we were in a perimeter, sitting on the perimeter of the room, and the like 4 inmates, convicts, were in the middle, and there's like one guard in the room. And these guys started off by telling us what it was like to be in prison. So I learned that it is possible to get shivved while you're taking a dump, which is not a nice way to go. I also
Wait.
heard,
Do you mean it's not a nice way to die or not a nice way to take a dump?
I don't think it's a nice way to do either.
Okay.
It's not a very comfortable way to take a dump, and it's certainly not a very honorable way to die.
I'm trying to get stuff out and you're putting stuff back in. I don't like that very much.
Well, I don't think you get shivved from there. I think you get shivved in a different location on your body, if you know what I'm saying. But in any event, learned about that, learned about how you make the shiv. But
wait. Did you retain the how to make a shiv knowledge?
Well, yeah, you need a toothbrush and you need something, to whittle down the end of the toothbrush to make it super sharp. Or what you could do is you could get a razor blade and you can just notch out the end of your toothbrush, not the area where you brush it with, but the other end. And then you put the razor blade in the notch and then you tape it. And so then you have like a razor blade at the end of your toothbrush. Yeah.
Is this a pushing razor blade or a slicing Are you gonna? Is it like you're gonna
Well,
pull the?
it would be a razor blade that you would use to maybe scrape a sticker off of your car window or something, but they turn it on its side so that it's it's gonna stab into you or
Okay.
cut your ass.
I'm glad you really know the details here. So you did pay attention in eighth grade on
Bro,
how to build a
bro,
ship.
I'm gonna
I am
tell you in a
proud of you.
second. I'm gonna tell you in a second why I paid attention because I was remarking to my wife that we're around the perimeter, and this is important because we're against the wall, and these guys would come around to you and they would look at you and they would make sure you were paying attention. But they this was one saying they had: "Don't you effing eyeball me, punk! Don't you eyeball me!" And they would drop the f bomb. They one kid they said, "You eyeball me one more time, I'm gonna put your effing head through that wall." And it wasn't to me. None of this was to me. These were actually the effing the head into the effing wall was the kid right next to me. So I'm being told not to eyeball these guys, but how could I not look over there at what was going on there? Because I don't know, it's pretty amazing. And then my wife goes, "Well, I mean, they're not going to do anything to you." I said, "Really?" So think about this for a second. They're convicted murderers. There's one guard in the room who's on the other side of the room. If these guys wanted to put your head through the wall, they could put your head. No one's going to stop them. No one's going to stop them. So that was the thing. Don't eyeball me, right? So they're yelling at you. It felt like boot camp that I never went to, but there's that part. But then there was the other part. I told you about the shiv. But this is the craziest thing. And my parents signed a permission slip for this. Again, I'm telling you, I don't think parents will sign up for this. These guys proceeded to let us know how prison really was. And what I mean by that is they said to one kid, "You think you're a real tough kid." Different kid than was going to get his head put through the wall. "You think you're a real tough kid. You know what? You come in here, you know what's going to happen to you? You're going to become somebody's bitch on the first day. And you know what? When he's done with you being his bitch, he's going to trade you for a pack of cigarettes. If you're lucky. If he really doesn't like you, it might only be a cigarette. That's how worthless you are in this joint." Eighth grade. You don't have a problem with this, Opie. You think
I mean, I've
you,
heard this program exists. I've heard these stories before. Like I said, you're the only one I know who will actually cop to having been to one of these stitches sketches. Let me ask you, did anyone in that group that you are aware of end up in prison anyway?
I do think at least one, if not maybe more, went to jail from that group later in
Okay.
life. Not like as 16-year-olds either, like as a 30-year-old. So
Okay.
clearly the 20 years difference between the Scared Straight program and them, breaking the law. Obviously they forgot about it, but I don't know, Obi. I don't think anybody is sending their kid to Scared Straight. So I'd love to hear what people's thoughts are. Now, here, let me tell you the conspiracy theory, because this was the thing. I was not a bad kid. I was an asshole, but I was not a bad kid. So I think I'm wondering, did my class go and was it all a big ruse because we had like three bad kids in the whole school? Like, was it all a ruse to get those three kids to the Scared Straight program without singling them out? So they sent white guy Ed and all these other kids there. Like, or do you think, like, what's the purpose of just sending the youth and government class? Wouldn't you think they would send all of us or just the bad kids?
Well, we're the bad kids in the youth and government class.
Well, like I said, one of them ended up in jail. And listen, there's
But
a couple other smart ass. I'm gonna tell you
was
right
that
now.
embezzlement that he ended up in jail? 'Cause, you can't pick out the embezzlers when they're young. They're sneaky.
I'm gonna tell you the reason the kid was gonna get his head smacked. This is a different kid, by the way. The kid was gonna get his head smacked through the effing wall. Was he was like leaning back in his chair, like he didn't give a crap. Like none of it phased him. So they needed to make it phase him, right? So that's the type of kids. Some of the kids, not all. Then you had me, who was like sitting up straight, not eyeballing anybody. I don't know. Like I didn't get yelled at the whole time. I did what I was supposed to. But you had these other kids who were like, yeah, whatever. Um, yes. So Obi, there were kids in that room that deserved to be there, if you know what I'm saying. But there were a lot of other kids who were straight A students that probably didn't deserve to be there.
Well, I think you've shown the whole problem with the scared straight program, right? It's that you can't just be like, you're an idiot, you go. The rest of you guys can stay. They don't seem to be doing that when maybe they should.
I don't know. I'm not really sure. But anyway, so that was just a little trip down memory lane as I drove by the Fishkill Correctional. So,
Okay.
Obi, I got one more thing for you. And I know you actually told me that you actually wrote something in your notebook. We'll get to that in a second. But I got one other thing for you. I know I talked about this before, but I can't help myself to bring it up again. So I know people are going to say, Ed, you've already talked about it. But Obi, I still can't get over the fact that these guys in their early 20s, mid 20s, have these goofy mustaches. I'm up at Saratoga again.
You talk about my mustache?
No, your mustache is goofy, but you're not. It's the you know what I'm talking about. It's these It's like if you watch Top Gun, the second Top Gun, Miles Teller, Goose's son, had a goofy mustache, right? These are the mustaches I'm talking about. I think we all know it. Just Google 20-something-year-old man, and he's got a mustache. I don't get it. These guys are in photographs. They're going to weddings dressed like looking like this, and we are gaslighting a whole generation of young ladies thinking this is acceptable. I'm sorry, I've talked about it before, but I can't get over it.
So, listen, maybe you're wrong.
No, I'm not wrong. I'm wrong on some things. I'm wrong on fashion. I might even be wrong on hairstyle. Although the mullet is coming back, I think that's awesome. But this mustache thing has got to go.
So this is
Yeah,
what
oh
we're
yeah,
trying to
that
stop
mustache.
right there. The I don't have it's not a big mustache like mine. It's not full fur. It's very well trimmed, very close to the face. Almost looks like a stick-on mustache, like the
Yeah.
little stickers.
And
It's
it's not a mustache of the kid who has never shaved and it's finally starting to grow in, so it looks like a dirty upper lip. I'm not talking about that mustache. I mean, that's got its own issue. I'm talking about the mustache you just showed on the screen.
okay. Well, um, it's a less than ideal mustache. I will give you that. I'm not.
Have you
If,
noticed an uptick of young men walking around looking like that?
no, I haven't.
Oh my God, you should open your eyes when you go outside
Well,
because this
I
is
will,
what
I
they're
will,
doing.
I have a 20 something, I have two 20 something year olds, almost F two 20 something year olds. I will share this pic with them and ask if they have friends who are sporting that style of mustache. I do know that the other day told my son he should go with the mustache free beard because his mustache is just not good. So his
So I
beard
don't
is
have a problem.
good.
And again, I don't have a problem with the mustache with the beard. Beards
I,
are fine.
I
And of
know.
course, I'm biased because I have one, but I think beards are perfectly acceptable. But this idea that it's okay to have a just a mustache. I mean, it's not even a 70s mustache, which are bad enough. Like the Tom Selleck thing, that's
Hey,
bad.
hey,
You,
hey.
you know how I feel about your mustache. But my point is, it's even worse, Obi. You're over the hill anyway. Who gives a shit what you look like?
That's very true because that is a mustache on somebody who is the thing about the mustache, the Miles Teller mustache, as we'll call it, is it is impeccably groomed. Like you have to work hard to have your mustache like that. It's very short. It's very well groomed. You are spending a lot of time on that mustache,
To look like a fool. Yeah, a lot of
and
time to look like a fool.
it doesn't give off strength. I'll agree with you there. It gives off a certain. It doesn't have that power that you might want in a good mustache.
No. And then, and another trend that they're pairing it with. I mean, I saw it at Saratoga. I see it
But
at Yankee
but
games. I see it
are
wherever
are
I
you
go.
are you noticing this? You think more because these are the men who are coming up and talking to your daughter?
Oh, no. First of all, men do not talk to my daughter when she's with me. They're smart. At least we haven't met a dumb enough one that doesn't know that that's not the right thing to do. But no, here's the other thing, Obi, I've noticed. This also is crazy. Shorts on men are getting shorter. So you have these guys walking around with like short. I'm telling you, it's going back to the 70s. They're wearing
Okay,
like short shorts
all right. So
and
I was about to
mustaches.
say, like the short shorts, have all, and you're right. They're going back up, but
Yeah,
they go all the time, up and down, up and
yeah,
down.
but right now the trend is mustache and short shorts. It's a bad look.
Well, isn't that Pedro from that movie? Isn't that his look?
Well, first, so a couple things. Pedro, I don't think, I think Pedro wore jeans the whole time. I don't think he wore.
Okay.
I'm talking about short khaki shorts, by the way. I'm not talking about those short gym shorts. I mean, that's bad too. Nobody should wear those. But I'm talking about like khaki shorts that are like instead of a 9 inch inseam, like a 5 inch inseam. So there's like a khaki short comeback with 5 inch inseam and this goofy mustache.
So those are
And
the
Pedro's
shorts.
mustache was a dirty upper lip mustache. So I'm not talking about that either.
Those shorts that you're talking about are the shorts that my gym teachers used to wear.
Yes and no. Your gym teachers wore what we'll call bike, but made coach. They were coach shorts made by Bike, the company Bike, right? They were gray polyester. They had snaps on the pockets. We know exactly what they are, but I'm not talking about. I'm talking about khaki shorts that just happen to look like those freaking things.
Okay. All
It's a
right.
bad look. What the hell do you look at when you go out in the world?
My wife.
That's it. You just stare at your wife. That's all you look at.
As far as the world needs to know, I look at my wife. I'm definitely not looking at 20-something-year-old men, though. I'll tell you that.
Well, you
That's for
need to
sure.
check out these younger men. I'm telling you. Otherwise, there's
Everyone,
nothing.
everyone, please note that Ed is asking us all to check out young men.
I'm
20
telling you,
something
I'm telling you
legal.
specifically, you need to check out these younger men. So we have something to talk about.
The funny thing is that I have men of this ilk in my house all the time because that is who my son is, and I don't recognize these styles you're talking about at all. Now, at all. At all.
Yeah, it's because you're too busy looking at your wife all the time when you go out.
That's right. My eyes are focused where they're supposed to be.
All right. Well, I think there's a couple of poll questions that come out of that.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Including, should Ed continue looking at young men? Make
no,
sure
that
that's
was
a question.
that's actually not the question that's going to be asked unless you get there first.
Which I might.
Oh, for one time only. So, Obi, you said you actually filled something out in your notebook. What do you got?
I do have something in my notebook. Interestingly enough, I'm very I have an issue that I need your advice on. So it turns out that I have a business trip I'm leaving on tomorrow. That's why we're filming on Monday night, and this may not actually get posted till Saturday because I'm away all week. And I'm taking a flight and I'm taking a carry-on bag only, and it's a business trip. So Ed, I need to know, do I go douche chill like you with the sports coat on in the airplane and completely relax the rest of the way? I won't be in first class though, or business class for that matter. Or do I try to pack my sports coat and use the steamer because I will not have a business meeting on the day I arrive? What is the official non-douche chill way to make these travel arrangements?
All right. I think here's the deal. I think anytime you can avoid the steamer or an iron for your jacket, I think you got to do it. So I think what you do is you wear the jacket on the plane, and worst case, you take the jacket off, fold it, and put it in the overhead compartment, and you don't wear it the whole flight. Since you're not in first class, you probably should not wear it the whole flight. You should take it off, put it in the overhead bin. That's what I would say. If you were in first class, you know what I'm going to tell you. You should wear it the whole flight.
Yeah, that's what I figured you're talking about first class, but yeah, this is an hour flight. So I don't even know if there is a first class. I think there's only the exit row. I think that's as first class as you get on this little puddle jumper.
Oh, an hour flight is a no-brainer with the jacket then. It's only an hour flight. It's not that uncomfortable. Just wear the jacket. I think you got to go all in on the jacket. That way you don't need the steamer. But I've told you this before. You could buy the suit that I have where you can pack it in your carry-on and then it comes out and it's wrinkle-free.
Interestingly enough, I just bought several new jackets, and I couldn't stomach getting that many jackets as I needed for the price of your one jacket. So they weren't cheap jackets, but they weren't as expensive as that jacket when I had to get four jackets. I completely redid
Yeah.
my jacket situation.
See, in the difference there is I paid for that jacket and I don't need a steamer, so I saved money on the steamer. You need a steamer and you got four jackets. So I don't know who's winning there,
Wait.
but I think
What? The
you wear the
steamer, the
jacket.
steamer is free in the hotel, and you don't have to pay for it there. And
Oh, you're staying at one of those nice hotels?
and dry cleaning, you got dry clean your jacket anyway. You don't put your jacket in the regular laundry, do you?
Oh, that's where you're wrong. The
Oh,
jacket I
heck.
got is machine washable, dude.
There's no such thing as a machine washable jacket. They
Oh,
can
yes,
tell you
there
it's
is.
machine washable, but it will mess up those buttons no matter what. And the
No
buttons won't
way.
hold your
No
jacket
way.
tight. Oh
No
yeah,
way.
Ed.
No
Ed.
way. My
Ed.
jacket is tailored for the hustle, man. You can put it, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. You have no idea, man. This is why you pay a premium for
I
fine
wouldn't
quality material.
if I bought that jacket, which I highly considered, except I needed too many jackets. I would still dry clean. I don't care if it says machine washable. It is a jacket. If it does not need to be dry cleaned, it's not really a jacket. It's a
Oh,
sweatshirt, and it's a sweatshirt.
oh, no, no.
Maybe that's why the other guy didn't buy it. He's like, this is machine washable. He saw it and he said,
Oh no, I figured out why the other guy. I don't think I told you the theory. I finally figured out why the other guy didn't buy the jacket. This is going
why?
back a couple episodes. So we are the Seinfeld of podcasts. So I got to go Seinfeld here. So there is a Seinfeld episode where Jerry was upset that he had to get a pair of jeans. New pair of jeans were like an inch like larger on the waist than what he was used to. So Jerry, small man, not a real man like us, he wore size 29, but his jeans had to be 30, or maybe he wore 28 and he had to get 29s, right? And he I don't know if you remember this episode, but he scraped off on the back of his Levi's, he scraped off the size of his jeans so no one would see that he got the extra size up. That's how vain Jerry Seinfeld was on the Seinfeld show, right?
Right.
So he scraped off the 29 so he could still tell people it was 28, which no one's looking. And so I'm convinced this guy who did not buy the jacket, because he kept telling me, and it finally clicked. He kept telling me the 44 wouldn't fit. So I had to return it. And my point was like, so what if the 44 doesn't return it and get a 46? Who gives a shit? And he's like, no, the 44. He never said, he just said, no, the 44 won't fit. And every time I said, well, get the effing 46, he would just say, no, the 44. So I figured it out. He has a thing. He only wears a 44. If it's not a 44, he's not wearing it.
Okay. Well, sometimes you gotta stick to your guns.
I think that's weird. Who cares if it's a large, extra large, or double XL? Who cares if it's a 44, 46, or 50? Things come in different sizes. Why does the size matter?
Well, that's another poll you could ask. Why does the size matter? That's a great question. You can put a poll out there and find out.
In clothing. Obi,
In
I want you
clothing.
to answer. Why does the size matter in clothing?
I think, some people they feel about their body, and then if a piece of clothing tells them differently because of a number on it, they feel bad about themselves. So they say it's the clothing's fault and they get rid of it. Now the problem becomes if you have to get 8 different jackets that the 44 don't fit, and then you're like, oh. But if you're like, I'm a 44 and I'm a medium, and I know that like in a t-shirt, there are some companies they cut their mediums and I can squeeze in. Especially if it's like a sweatery thing. But if it's a t-shirt, sometimes I can't. I gotta go up to the large because I still have a little belly here. And that pouch shows, and so you got a deal. And other times, you're like our friend.
You get all bent out of shape when you have to buy a large.
You're like, I'm a medium. I guess it's a. People have body issues. I guess that's part of it. And everyone's got their own thing. You needed to be scared straight. You didn't even realize how bad of a kid you were.
That's true. Maybe my memory's all wrong, and maybe it wasn't my youth and government class. It was just that teacher who went with all the bad kids, and I thought it was my youth and government class.
You could ask your mother. You know what? If it wasn't your youth and government class and you were a bad kid, that would suck. The charm is that we suck. I'm Obi. That's it. Catch us next time on Drinking from the Garden.